Welcome to my quick overview of the n8n workflow automation tool and the Liferay Node I just published for it. It's just going to give you a quick look into what n8n can do and how you can use that node to interact with Liferays Headless APIs. So I have all of this running locally in Docker. You can also install n8n directly, or there's a cloud version you can use with a 14-day trial. But the cloud version doesn't let you install community nodes, so no Liferay node for you there. Let me just go over this. So we have n8n with a Postgres database. We have Liferay with its own Postgres database. And then there's ollama and mailhog, which I'll get to in a little bit when we're working in n8n. And these will have to be in the same network, so you have to connect Liferay, n8n, ollama, and mailhog to the same network so they can communicate with each other. So let's have a look at n8n. It's going to be your start screen when you first start it up. But before we create any workflows or do anything else, we have to install that community node I just talked about. So we go to Settings, Community Nodes, Install. And it's pretty much just getting packages from the npm public registry. So all you need is the package name of the node, which always starts with n8n nodes, and then Liferay for mine. Then you understand the risk of installing unverified code, because you're pretty much just installing a package from a public source. And that's probably the reason it's not working in the cloud, because of security reasons. So just make sure you know what you're getting. So it's pulling and building and installing this. While it's doing that, that's my local Liferay. It's running on the latest version as of today. So that's ready. The node was just installed. And we can go back here and have a look. Now prepare to be amazed, because first time I started this, I was pretty happy that I found this amazing tool. But pretty soon when you start playing with it and seeing what you can get done in so little time, you get pretty sad, because you start thinking, what the f have I been doing with my life? Wasting hours, days, and weeks manually coding my own applications, or manually copy-pasting, or doing whatever this tool allows you to do. So let's have a look with our first workflow. First, give it a name. What I want to do is show how easy it is to integrate AI stuff into a workflow here. So I'm going to let AI create a blog post for us. So the big plus here is pretty much where you get started. Add your first step. Click on here. On the side, it opens all the options you have with an autocomplete up here, because as you soon see, there's a lot of stuff you can do out of the box. So first, what I want to start with is the trigger manually node. Like it says here, it's good for getting started quickly. There's other stuff you can add here, like have a workflow start on a schedule you define, or create webhooks so you can have external events and requests start your workflow. You can connect all kinds of app events, so there's a lot of pre-made options you have, from AWS to Google services to a lot of stuff you can think of, YouTube, and just scroll through it. It's going to take a while to find out all the options you have. But for now, I'm going to start with a trigger manually node and double click this. And this is pretty much an easy way to get started. And like it says here, set mock data that could be coming from somewhere else. So instead of maybe a webhook or external app event that sends you data, you can set mock data here that you want to use. And it's all going to be JSON. that you work with here. So I'm gonna just give it an array with an object and the title of a blog post we want to create. Just call it Liferay Headless APIs, for example. It's going to verify that it's valid JSON for you. Save it, and this is the output it's going to send to the next node. So to connect this, as you can see, there's a line going off here. Just go plus again, and like we said, we want to have AI create a blog post for us. So we just go to advanced AI and have an AI agent doing the work for us. So you can connect a chat node here, which I'm not going to go into. There's an easy way for you to integrate chat and take the data from there. But we're going to switch this to define below and just have a prompt that we want to use and give to the LLM for us to create the data. So down here, you have a required field, the chat model you want to use. And now we're going to get to the ollama application I just showed you in the Docker services. Lets you easily run LLMs locally. So you just install it directly or via Docker, and lets you easily just pull in whatever you want to use from. Let me just show you right here. First, you have to create credentials, which is pretty much just the URL where you're going to connect to, because it's an open API that it offers. Since it's the service name in my network, in the Docker network, just change this from localhost to ollama, and that's the standard port that it exposes. And that's it for that connection. Test it successfully. So what we can do now is refresh this list, and it's going to give me all the models that I already pulled into ollama. So I have DeepSeek, Google's Gemma, and Llama. Not the latest one, but yeah, the smallest one. That's pretty new that I could find. So for creating the blog post, I tested all of them, and Llama gave me, for some reason, the best output to use without having to reformat and playing around with the structure. So we're going to use this, but feel free to play and use whatever you want to use. So we go back to Canvas, and now go back to the AI agent, double click it. And now we have to give it a prompt. So tell it what to do. So what we want from it is write a blog post about, and this is one of the nice features here. You get all the input data from the step before, and with drag and drop, you can just use these variables. And as you can see, and it says down here, anything inside these double curly brackets or parentheses is JavaScript. So it's taken this JSON from before and using the title we gave it. And dynamically, as you can see, there's an expression editor we can make a little bigger. This is going to be the result. So it's taking a variable from the step before and using this for our prompt. So write a blog post about title with whatever, 5 paragraphs. Just give it some info what we want. Output only the content inside the HTML body with multiple H2 headings, for example. That's it. Go back here, and then we can test every step that we're on right now with the button up here. Now it's talking to the ollama API, telling it use the llama free model, 3.2, whatever. And we can see it here. It's running. Since I just have a regular computer and not like 50 GPUs to run AI here, it takes a while, but it's faster than I expected. So that's it. The output we got with H2 tags, like we told it. Blog post with 5 paragraphs, I hope. about Liferays Headless APIs. So, what do we do with this? We add another node, which is going to be the one I created, the Liferay node. Here with the icon, you can see it's a community package. So it just tells you it's not like a built-in node, but a community node you installed. And so we go in here, like in the last step, we have the data we got from the node before. But before we can continue here, I'm going to go back into Liferay. Now, to be fair, Liferay has its own AI creator. So we go to web content, for example, and we create a new one. Takes a while on the first time you start it. Yeah, there's an AI creator here, but like it says when you click on it, you need an API key for it. And I think right now it's only working with ChatGPT, OpenAPI. So yeah, for some content types, you can already use the AI creator in here. But since I'm trying to show you n8n, I'm going to do it the other way. So while Liferay has its own block entry asset type, I'm going to create an object for this. Just call it blog entry. We'll label blog entries. If you haven't used Liferay before, just bear with me for a little bit. Not going to take long, but it's going to give you an intro on how to create entities and objects in Liferay. Everyone who's used Liferay before has probably done this at least once. So we go into our new blog entry object. Create two fields. So we want to use the title for the blog post, which is going to be a text field and mandatory. Save this. And then one for the body, which is going to be, since we created a HTML, a rich text field. Save this. Go back here to the details. Just tell it the title field is going to be title field we just created. And just so we can check if blog entry was actually created, we're going to create a panel link under custom apps and allow users to save entries as a draft. So it's not published right away, but you can save drafts as well. And then we publish this and publish successfully. So we're good to go. There we go. So go back into the Liferay node in n8n. So we have to set up credentials so we can actually connect to Liferay. Right now it's going to be the only two features. The only two ways to authenticate is I added basic auth or OAuth2 just to make it quicker and easier. Use basic auth of whatever you call it. Use the standard Liferay user with my password. Save this. And since we're running a Docker network, the URL is going to be Liferay 8080. And I hope that's it. Now we just choose one of the two types I added. You can either call a headless API endpoint directly, any that's available, or call an object operation. Since we just created an object for this, we're going to choose this one. It's going to connect to Liferay and get the OpenAPI specification, the JSON in the background. Just parse it and give me all the object definitions that are available that the user created. So there's system objects as well, like a user and organization. It's not going to give you those, but it's going to give you the ones that the custom objects that a user created. So we just created a blog entry. And for the blog entry, it's going to get from the OpenAPI specification again, all the operations that are already automatically created by Liferay. It's going to give you headless APIs for everything you create. And what we want to do, of course, with the blog entry, we just created with our llama model. Now let me stay back here. So we just post a JSON to Liferay as well. So we take the title, and over here we have our inputs. So it's going to give you the last step by default, but you can switch here. So our first node that's setting that title, we can use drag and drop again. Add a quote. Too much autocomplete. There we go. So we have the title and the body, which is the content from our AI agent. Code again. And make it a little bigger. There we go. Yeah. And as you can see, with the variables and the result, this is what's going to get posted to Liferay. But just to make it, now this is going to throw an error because JSON doesn't allow the line breaks here. So what you can do is, there's a couple of things you can do. Either in the AI agent, you can require a specific output format, and there's output parsers, which I haven't played with yet. So that's one way to specify how the output is supposed to look. But since, like it said before, everything inside of those curly parentheses, brackets is JavaScript, so we can just do JSON stringify, and it's gonna remove the line breaks for us like this. So yeah, there's a couple of ways you can deal with this, but this is the fastest, so I'm just gonna go with this. So we have a title, the body, but as we can see, we have quotes returned already from the output here, so we can just remove these. And the reason when I created the object is allow draft, why I added that option is so I can show you some other cool features from n8n, is to not have it publish that blog post directly, but first we set the status to code 2. Now this is something this you would know if you've played with the APIs before, but this just tells Liferay with different codes. Code 0 would be approved, published. Code 2 means status of this object entry is going to be draft. So let me save this. You can use Control S like in other programs to save your workflow at any time. Close this and let's go for it. Test it. Now there's a feature you can pin data from a step you have, so it's cached and saved so you can reuse it. Right now it's calling the AI agent again and creating the blog post, so it's going to take a couple of seconds. But then when it's getting the data from here, it's going to call the Liferay API, Headless APIs with the specified endpoint that you chose here. Let me just rename the credentials. Till this is done, Liferay basic path. Workflow executed successfully. So that looks good. So we got a code 200 back, and Liferay returns a JSON of the created object. So we have here status code 2 with, now we can see a label draft. So we have body raw text with no HTML, the title that we set dynamically, and the HTML body. So that looks good. Close this up, save. Now let's go in here. Liferay, that's why we created under applications, customs apps. We have a list created by Liferay of the blog entries. Open this up and we can see we have a new entry with title Liferay Headless APIs and the created blog post with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs and H2 headings. So Nice. Only took a couple of minutes. We have AI creating blog posts for us. Of course, wouldn't make much sense to manually enter the data here. So I think this was created automatically when you add an AI agent with the default chat trigger node. It creates this. So we can just delete this link and the node and relink. So yeah, as you can see, drag and drop, you can pretty much link, relink, delete pretty quickly. There's a tidy up button down here. It's going to squeeze together all the nodes and make them laid out a little nicer. Yes, so took a couple of minutes. We give it some data, have an AI agent create a blog post for us with the Liferay Node. We can just choose the endpoint we want to use, post the data there, and that's it. So the reason I made it a draft and not published directly is to show you something else, one of the nice features in here. It's not a core feature, I guess. It's approval you can do right here. Let me just find it. What's it called? Okay, human in the loop should be it. Oh yeah, so yeah. Like it says here, human in the loop is its own category. Wait for approval of human input before continuing. So that's what we want to do. We create a draft blog post and then we send an email to someone telling it, hey, there's a new blog post. So like with the other steps before, since we're sending email, we have to tell it what mail server to use. So that's the reason why we have mailhog running in our Docker network as well. So service name again, mailhog, and that one runs on the port 1025. We don't want to use SSL, but yeah, you can use any mail server here. Just so I can show it and test it locally, I have this local mail server set up. So save this, connect it successfully, and then what we want to do is send and wait for a response. So we send an email to from whatever, n8n@blah.com to, well, approver at blah.com, subject, new blog post. And like before, we can use title, for example. Just drag it in here, new blog post for approval. And there's a couple of ways we can have people approve this. Either we just post HTML directly into the HTML body, or, which I think is nicer, but then of course the person getting this has to have a Liferay account and the permissions to edit these entries, is take that not so nice Liferay URL where you can get to the edit UI, copy this here, and as we can see, we have an external reference code, which is the UUID of the created blog post of the object entry. So we take this part here, put it into the message, then make it an expression, so it's dynamically evaluated, and this is HTML, the email by default. So from here, we take the data we got back from Liferay after we created the entry, and we take that external reference code of the created entry, put it here, see the result. It's going to get this here for us. Then we make a link out of this, and just call it view blog entry, or we can even put the title in here. It's also the data we got back from Liferay. So yeah, it's putting in the UUID for the link and the view blog entry title. Close this up. Now we could test this right now, but just so it doesn't start the AI agent again, I'm gonna use the pin data feature I just mentioned earlier. So it's gonna reuse the data that's already there instead of calling it again. Same for Liferay. So now when somebody approves this via email, I'll show you how that looks later. We have to add a step that something gets done. So we add another Liferay node. Or actually it makes more sense, delete this, since we also have a copy paste function somewhere. I'll just duplicate even better. Put this here and connect. Then we already have the data from before. So what we want to do now is not post a new one. So instead of, we want to patch, which lets us just update one or more attributes. So now we want to put the status code to 0, which means approved. When somebody clicks on the approve link in the email that's sent, I'll show you in a second. The next step in the workflow is going to be the patching of the blog entry to set the status code to 0 and approve it. So save this. Go in here, check again. Looks good. So we test. Can actually test the whole workflow now. So it's skipping these, it's using the pinned data. So it just sent the email and it's waiting for a response. So that's why it's spinning for now. So mailhog gives you a nice web UI. It's on the port 8025. So we see a few seconds ago, new blog post for approval. With the link recreated, new blog entry title, click on it. You get straight to Liferay standard edit view, and the user that's supposed to approve this can click on it, check it, change it, save, and or if they're happy and they don't want to do anything, they just click approve. Got it, thanks. We go back here, it says successfully. So to update the status, we forgot this. To patch, we have the body, status code 0, but we have to give it a blog entry ID as well that it's supposed to patch. So go back to the Liferay data and get the ID from here. And that's it. So now unpin this. Let's run the whole workflow and test it. So it's skipping all of these because they're pinned. Now it's sending an email again. That's the old one, the new one. Approve again, got it. Success and success as well. We go back to Liferay and into the blog entries. We can see it changed the status to approved. So looks good. To be fair, Liferay has its own workflow engine, so you could do the approval workflow here as well. But yeah, I just wanted to show you the n8n version of this. So yes, we just created an AI blog post that also has an approval workflow in there, and I think it took us maybe 10 to 15 minutes. So if that doesn't look good to you, I don't know what to tell you. Now, this was just going to be a quick intro, but it's, yeah, video's already longer than expected. I just want to show you one more quick thing. Go back to the overview, create a new workflow. Like we talked before, you can attach webhooks, and since Liferay gives you a couple of options to just plug into that, I'll just show you real quickly how that works. You just say webhook node, we'll change the method to post. We just copy this copy this URL, go back to Liferay. There's a couple of ways you can use this. I'll just go back to objects, and since Liferay exposes the system object as well, like the users that are available in there, you have object actions in here. And I tested this earlier, so I'll just delete it and add it all new. Just call it whatever, n8n update. And you have an action builder here. Just choose a trigger. I'm going to say on after update. So whenever a user gets updated in Liferay, we want to then call this action. It's just going to be a webhook. And all we have to do is paste the URL from n8n, change the host name to whatever is set up in your environment. For me, it's the service name n8n. And that should be it. So we go back here, close all of these, and then just say listen for event. So we'll go to the users of Liferay, go to the standard test user, that's me. Just change the username to n8n, just to test it, go to save. Okay, once my password, since I'm changing the admin user, and go over here, and that's it. Data was just posted via JSON. So took us like 20 seconds to set up a webhook, and so now anytime data's changed in Liferay or added or whatever event you set up, you get the data in here, and you can reuse it to do whatever. So you can plug in another AI agent and use this. You can, if you add another user, there's lots of options available, like already ready-made nodes for like CRM connections. You can add the user to a CRM. If the action you need here isn't available, you just either, oh yeah, one more thing. There's a code node you can use, which, like earlier, you can just use JavaScript and use the data and do whatever you want to do there, do HTTP requests or whatever. And you can even either use Python as well. It's in beta, but I think from what I've seen, it works nicely as well. So that's one way to do some more dynamic stuff. But then there's also, you can do control flow stuff. So you can, if this variable is this, or filter stuff out, loop over multiple items. Yeah, it would take me like 2 days to go over all of these options. So you'll have to check them out yourself. But I think you've probably gotten a nice overview of n8n and what the Liferay node can easily do to help you use the headless APIs. Oh, and one more thing. There's a templates button here. Just click on it, and n8n gives you right now 1,614 workflow templates, since everything you do here is just saved as JSON in the background as well. There's lots of stuff here to check out. So if you want to just look for Google, get 418 already made templates by someone else that will help you get going quickly. So you just look at other templates, see what other people are doing. You can use it as a starting ground to set up your own stuff. You can even explore it right in the browser. So, and if you want to use it, yeah, you can even just copy the JSON to clipboard, paste it, import right here with a button. So it's going to open my instance, open up the workflow, and that's it. You can just keep going from there. So another nice feature to get you set up quickly. So I hope you enjoyed what I've shown you here, and have fun playing with this.